Welcome to the Peaceful Mind in Life channel. A man who can control himself is the strongest. This is a famous quote by the renowned philosopher Marcus Aurelius. Imagine waking up one morning to the sound of your alarm ringing, but your body feels as if it's trapped under warm blankets. You know that you need to get out of bed. You know that you should do something meaningful today, but a voice in your head says, "Just sleep a little longer, what's so urgent in this world that requires rushing?" This is not just a small battle every morning, but a bigger fight in your life. Have you ever felt lost, unsure of your true purpose? Have you ever doubted your value in this vast world? Have you ever thought that life is just a series of repetitive days, with no real meaning? If your answer is yes, then you are not alone. Millions of young people around the world, especially men, are going through these feelings. They are lost in abundance, confused by too many choices, and surrounded by societal expectations that do not truly reflect who they are. We live in an era where technology, convenience, and social media have made life easier than ever before. But easy does not mean meaningful. And you may wonder why so many people today feel more depressed, isolated, and lacking motivation compared to previous generations. The cause is not because we lack material things. On the contrary, we have too much, but we don't know how to master ourselves. And this is exactly why Stoicism has become a guiding philosophy for those who want to find themselves again. More than 2,000 years ago, a young man named Marcus Aurelius also faced these same questions. As a young man, he was not immediately the powerful emperor he would become. He was not born with an indomitable spirit. On the contrary, he, too, had doubts and struggled with the temptations of a luxurious life that his position might bring. But then, a small event changed his entire life. In his 20s, he was handed a book, Discourses of Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was once a slave but had found a way to master himself and rise above all adversity. It was this philosophy that shaped Marcus Aurelius into one of the greatest leaders in human history. He not only ruled over one of the most powerful empires in the world but also left behind an enduring intellectual legacy, a way of living that helps people strengthen their spirit, overcome difficulties, and truly become strong. The world of Marcus Aurelius may have been very different from today's, but the issues he faced, fear, doubt, societal pressure, and inner turmoil, are not unlike what we go through today. If Marcus Aurelius could find inner peace and strength amidst wars, betrayals, and the enormous responsibilities of being an emperor, then you, too, can find this within your own life. Stoicism is not a philosophy for the weak or those who escape reality. On the contrary, it is a guide for those who want to be stronger, more purpose-driven, and live a meaningful life. It is not a dry ideology but a practical journey that helps you master your emotions, not letting anger, anxiety, or fear control you. Control yourself, not allowing the temptations of the modern world to pull you away from your true values. Develop a strong mind to face challenges without wavering. Become a real man. Not because society defines who you are, but because you decide who you will become. You can continue to let old habits govern your life. Or you can begin the journey of mental training to become the strongest version of yourself. The question is, are you willing to change? Let's explore the deepest lessons of Stoicism together, lessons that not only help you live better but help you become the man you were born to be. Who will you become, a common person or a great one? This is the battle between the lower self and the noble self. Imagine waking up one morning with two conflicting thoughts in your head. One voice says, "Today, I will exercise, read, and do something meaningful." But immediately, another voice interrupts. "I'm too tired, let's sleep a bit more. What's wrong with having a lazy day?" This is the battle between the lower self and the noble self within each of us. The lower self is the lazy, weak part of you that seeks comfort and avoids challenges. It craves safety. fears difficulties, and always finds excuses to procrastinate. The noble self is the strong, disciplined part of you that strives for greatness. It pushes you to take action, face challenges head-on, and reject mediocrity. The question is, who will you listen to? Every day, every small decision you make is a brick in building the person you will become in the future. You can choose to become a strong person, living with purpose, or let the lower self control you, leading to a life that is boring and lacks meaning. Are you training, or are you giving up? Every time you face difficulty in life, you have two choices. Accept the challenge and train yourself to become stronger. Avoid the challenge, settle for comfort, and end up weak and powerless. Look at the greatest athletes in the world, the successful entrepreneurs, or the toughest warriors in history. None of them achieved glory by sitting back and waiting. Discipline is the key to success. One of the most important lessons from Stoicism is, you can't control the circumstances, but you can control how you react to them. Remember, you are not weak because life is hard. You are weak because you have never truly fought to become stronger. A perfect example of the battle between the lower self and the noble self is David Goggins, one of the most resilient and enduring men in the world. Goggins was born into a poor family, suffered abuse from his father, and grew up in fear, insecurity, and lack of direction. As an adult, Goggins held a mundane job, ate recklessly, and weighed over 130 kilograms. He hated himself, not only because of his heavy body but because he was letting his lower self control his life. Then one day, he made a life-changing decision. He told himself, "I will not live like this anymore. I will not let myself become a failure." He started running, training every day, no matter the weather, rain, sunshine, or snow. He forced himself to wake up at 4 a.m., training to the point of bleeding, but he kept pushing forward. After years of persistence, Goggins not only lost weight but became one of the legendary Navy SEAL warriors, an ultramarathon runner, and was dubbed the strongest man in the world. No one is born strong. You become strong by fighting against yourself every day. You can change. It doesn't matter where you are, what matters is how willing you are to change. It's all up to you. You can keep postponing, or you can stand up and do what needs to be done. Goggins did it. What about you? Do you know what the difference is between a common person and a great one? Common person procrastinates, waits for the perfect moment, makes excuses, blames circumstances, runs from challenges, seeks comfort, lives without purpose. Great person acts even when not ready, takes responsibility for their life, faces challenges no matter how tough they are, seeks growth even when it's painful, always sets goals and pursues them relentlessly. Imagine there are two young men, Mark and Box, both wanting to become successful entrepreneurs. Mark always says, "I'll start when I have enough money, experience, and connections." He waits for the perfect day and never actually starts. Box, on the other hand, has no money, no experience, but still starts with what he has. He learns, works hard, experiments, fails, and gets back up. 10 years later, Mark is still just an average office worker, while Box has built a successful business. Who do you want to be, Mark or Box? How to beat the lower self and shape your character. Start with small actions. You don't need to change your entire life immediately. But start with small actions, a little each day. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Exercise, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Read one page of a book instead of scrolling through social media. Complete one important task before relaxing. Every day, you grow 1% stronger. And after a year, you'll be a completely different person. Learn to endure discomfort. If you want to become strong, you must learn to endure discomfort. Don't be afraid of the pain when exercising, it's a sign you're making progress. Don't be afraid of feeling bored when learning, it's the first step towards growth. Don't be afraid of rejection or failure, each failure is an opportunity to learn and improve. Remember, no one becomes great without experiencing pain and challenges. Today, we often hear about the importance of having a healthy body and an attractive appearance. This is not wrong, but if you focus only on the body and neglect the strength of the mind, you will only be an incomplete version of yourself. True strength doesn't come from muscles, but from the mind. When we think of philosophy, many people immediately imagine theoretical debates or profound quotes from books. Seneca and Epictetus taught us that philosophy is not just for studying, but for living. They didn't just search for abstract theories, but more importantly, they sought ways to apply philosophy to real life. Seneca once said, "We must train the body so that it does not hinder the mind." With this quote, Seneca emphasized that if we let our bodies be weak, sick, or incapable, our minds will also be limited. Physical strength and mental strength must go hand in hand. Epictetus also affirmed, "No one is exempt from taking care of themselves." For him, taking care of the body is not selfishness or material desire, but a part of mastering oneself. Only when we have a healthy body can we maintain a clear and self-controlled mind. We often think that Stoicism focuses solely on mastering emotions, thoughts, and actions, but in reality, Stoics always emphasize physical training. They understood that without a healthy body, it is very difficult to have a strong mind. This has been proven through many stories of great people in history. When people think of Sparta, they immediately think of warriors with incredible strength. However, what made Sparta's warriors truly remarkable was their ability to control themselves and their mental strength. To better understand this, let's explore how they trained. From childhood, Spartan boys were exposed to an extremely harsh environment. This not only helped them become physically strong warriors, but also instilled a steely resolve, ready to face any challenge in life. They were starved, Spartan boys were not pampered with food. They were forced to control their hunger, learn to endure hardship, and master their basic bodily needs. The goal was to make them realize that they couldn't always have things their way, and sometimes, deprivation is an opportunity for growth. They were forced to sleep outdoors. Young warriors had to sleep outside, enduring the cold and the hardships of nature. This not only trained their physical endurance but also helped them develop patience and perseverance in harsh conditions. And they had to fight each other. An important part of Spartan training was combat, not only between seasoned warriors, but also among Spartan boys. These battles weren't to cause injury, but to teach them how to face fear and control their emotions in the face of danger. The ultimate goal of Spartan training was not just to have a strong body, but to become warriors who could control themselves and maintain composure in the most stressful situations. A true Spartan warrior was not just physically strong, but mentally resolute. This is similar to Stoic philosophy, where the mind must remain steadfast in the face of all challenges, and the body is merely a tool to help us achieve great goals. The lessons of patience, self-discipline, and resilience from the Spartans still apply in today's modern life. Stoicism doesn't just teach us how to face life's challenges, but also trains us to maintain a strong, unyielding mind, unaffected by negative emotions, fear, or anxiety. This is especially important in today's society, where the human psyche is often disturbed by work, relationships, and the pressures of life. To become a Stoic, you must learn to master yourself. It is the ability to control what you can and accept what you cannot. One of the most important lessons this philosophy teaches is to accept hardship and pain, rather than avoiding them. Stoics never seek to escape suffering, they embrace it and learn from it. David Goggins, who is considered one of the toughest men in the world, has faced a lot of pain and hardship throughout his life. From growing up in an abusive family to battling obesity and poor health. However, instead of letting these challenges weaken him, Goggins learned to master them. He didn't just overcome physical pain but trained his mind to never give up. Goggins is not alone. Throughout history, warriors like Alexander the Great or Napoleon Bonaparte did not rely solely on their muscles, but they trained their minds to lead, to win in the most difficult circumstances. This is true strength, the strength of the mind, the ability to overcome all barriers. The true power of a person does not come from muscles, but from the mind. This is what Stoic philosophers have been teaching us for over 2,000 years. They understood that when your mind is strong, your body will follow. Remember, physical training is essential to maintain a healthy body. But mental strength is what helps you reach the highest heights. And to achieve that, you must be persistent, face challenges, control your emotions, and act with a clear purpose. Train both your body and mind, for that is the path to true strength. There is nothing more masculine than controlling yourself. Marcus Aurelius. One of the greatest challenges we face is controlling our emotions, especially anger. We are often taught that masculinity is linked to physical strength, powerful actions, and sometimes aggression. But in reality, a man's greatest strength is not his ability to fight or dominate others, but his ability to control himself. Anger is a natural emotion, a reaction of the body when we feel threatened, unjustly treated, or hurt. However, if we don't learn to control it, anger can lead to serious consequences. From destroying relationships to making decisions we may regret for the rest of our lives. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers in history, has left us with profound teachings about controlling emotions. He wrote in Meditations, "Remember that you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it." With this, Marcus not only advises us to control our anger but also encourages us to control all other negative emotions. To have a peaceful and happy life, we need to learn not to let emotions dictate our actions. A real man is not one who easily loses his temper, but one who can restrain the outburst of anger in stressful situations. This is not about mastering emotions by suppressing them, but about acknowledging emotions, understanding them, and responding wisely and in control. To better understand emotional control, we can look at the life of Antoninus Pius, Marcus Aurelius' adoptive father. He was not only a great emperor but also a model of patience and self-control. As a leader, Antoninus Pius had to face countless challenges, from revolts within the empire to complex issues in governance. However, instead of being swayed by anger when confronted with these challenges, he always made wise and patient decisions. Whenever there was an incident or dispute, he did not let personal emotions cloud his judgment but always asked himself, what is best for justice, for the empire, and for the people? In contrast, Nero, his adopted son, was the complete opposite. Nero was famous for his impulsive actions and uncontrolled fits of rage, leading to cruelty and oppression throughout his reign. While Antoninus Pius is remembered as a wise and fair leader, Nero is seen as a tyrant emperor. We can see that a truly strong man is not one who can make others fear him with aggression, but one who can control himself and face challenges calmly and wisely. Now, the question arises: how can you control anger in daily life? In life, when you encounter something that makes you angry, just breathe deeply and pause for a moment. This is the first and simplest step in controlling anger. When you feel anger rising, simply stop, take a deep breath, and count to 10. These few moments will help you calm down and restore composure. In fact, just a few seconds of calmness can help you avoid making poor decisions. Be aware of your emotions. The reality is, sometimes we don't even realize we are angry. Anger often starts very subtly, but if not recognized in time, it can grow very strong and lead to rash actions. The skill of emotional awareness helps you identify anger as soon as it begins, rather than letting it escalate. Learn to listen and be patient with every issue. One of the important elements in controlling anger is learning to listen. When you feel anger building, listen to the other person and try to understand why they are acting that way. Sometimes, listening can help reduce frustration and change the way you perceive the issue. Listening is not just hearing the words, but understanding the emotions and needs of the other person. This will help you control your response, and instead of reacting impulsively, you'll be able to provide a calm and thoughtful reply. Learn to forgive. Anger is often associated with feelings of being hurt, betrayed, or disrespected. One of the best ways to reduce anger is to learn how to forgive. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting the wrong actions, but it allows you to free yourself from the bitterness. As Marcus Aurelius said, holding on to anger only harms yourself. Focus on finding solutions instead of worrying about problems. Finally, to control anger, you need to focus on solutions instead of just worrying about the problem. Instead of letting anger continue to dominate you, ask yourself, what can help solve this issue? When you shift your focus to finding a solution, anger will no longer take the upper hand. True strength lies not in muscles but in the ability to control oneself, including controlling emotions, especially anger. A real man is not one who easily loses control, but one who can restrain his emotions in the most stressful situations. When you learn to control your emotions, you not only become stronger but also grow in maturity with each decision and each action. This is the true strength that a man must possess. So, will you choose to be Nero or Antoninus Pius? Do you want to lose control when facing challenges, or will you be patient, calm, and wise in every situation? Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus were not only great philosophers but also individuals who left an enduring legacy in history with lessons on how to live meaningfully and powerfully. From their writings, we not only learn about theory but also about action. Their teachings serve as guiding lights for those seeking inner peace and greatness in life. We are easily caught up in temporary temptations, external expectations, and sometimes invisible pressures from society. But as the Stoics taught, true masculinity is not about imposing power over others, but about the ability to control oneself. Maintain discipline, and face all adversities that life presents. No one but you can decide the path you will take. No one but you can control your emotions. Maintain discipline, and aim for the best in life. You can change, you can train yourself to become the person you've always dreamed of, but it all starts from within. This is not easy, but greatness always requires persistence and continuous effort. Every day is an opportunity for you to change, to become the best version of yourself. Stoic principles like controlling emotions, maintaining discipline, and facing adversity are not distant theories but practical steps to help you overcome challenges, both physically and mentally. This is the key to greatness. The way Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus lived, leaving a lasting impact on history. No one can live forever in comfort, no one can avoid challenges indefinitely. Difficulties, failures, and challenges are not things that weaken us, but things that help us grow stronger. Face these challenges calmly, embrace them as opportunities to train and grow. Apply Stoic principles to your everyday life. Control emotions, don't let anger, anxiety, or frustration dictate your actions. Maintain discipline, no matter how difficult the circumstances. Don't forget your commitments to yourself and your goals. Face adversity, challenges are inevitable, but they will help you grow stronger every day. And most importantly, don't let life's difficulties cause you to abandon your dreams. Look at yourself and ask, what can I do to become better, stronger, and more useful to society? Certainly, when you live by Stoic philosophy, you'll realize that greatness is not something far away, but something you can achieve every day through persistence, patience, and courage in facing life. Take action today. Don't wait for a perfect tomorrow, don't wait for ideal conditions. Start training yourself right now, control your emotions, maintain discipline, and live with purpose. Because greatness is not a destination, but the journey you take on your own path. Take action today. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next time.